Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new edition of the Nonsense and Stuff Show here on the Beyond Stuff channel. The name is Bryan Chevalier, and I am joined today by the wonderful John Chevalier. How are you doing? And of course, we are joined by the wonderful Yamaris. How are you, Yami?
I'm okay.
You're okay?
I don't know why that sounded so sad. I'm alright.
We're good. Anyways, finally, this is our first show of the year here back. Well, we were originally planning to have Eduardo here on the show. Sadly, he had daddy duties, so we're here. The three of
like that.
Why not? He is. Well,
yeah, just say dad duties. Don't say daddy duties, please.
Jesus Christ. This is what's wrong with the youth of today. Kids nowadays have a thing called daddy issues, you know? That's what's wrong.
Daddy issues.
Daddy. Anyways, we're not here to talk about our own daddy issues. We're here to talk about something very fun, and it is the Studio Ghibli films. It's Ghibli!
Ghibli?
It's Ghibli.
Ghibli.
It's Ghibli.
Ghibli.
Or Bubbly.
Ghibli.
Ghibli. Okay, we're going to talk about the Studio Ghibli movies.
Gibble? Gibble Studios.
We're going to talk about our favorite Studio Ghibli films and what the newest movie, Earwig and the Witch, means for the future of this acclaimed studio. Now, first off, John, I wanted to start the episode first. I bought this thing at Walmart. I saw people like buying it as like crazy on this Christmas season. John, I want you to open it and see what the fuck does this thing have.
Wait, what is that? Is that the mini thing?
That's called a mini brand. I don't know. People
I
were.
love those. Those are
Then give her to her. Let her open those. I have no idea.
I thought it was a bubble bath.
No, like they are like tiny miniature like versions of like normal items.
That's the
and
thing.
I can't open
People were asking for that in my last job, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy one. I want to see what the hell this.
Can I stick my tooth into it because I can't open it?
Do it.
There you go.
What?
They're adorable. They're I've seen them on TikTok and they're like super.
Also,
cute.
that's why it's selling out like crazy.
Yeah, and
I bought it just because, you know, I was just wasting my money on that because
How
I'm
do you
very curious.
Open it.
I have no idea.
Oh, here.
We'll get in topic soon. I just want to find out what the hell does that have.
Can you open, sir?
I have no clue. Oh my god.
That sounded loud. Oh, it has another plastic.
So, John, what's new after, traumatizing me with your anime recommendation to me?
Well, what's new? I want to know what's new inside.
I want to know, too, because that's the thing. It's selling out like crazy. There was a point that we didn't have any of them in stock. Then they came around. Those things were out of stock during my time at the other work. Oh, my
Look
God.
How they open. I love these.
Show it to the camera. What the fuck? That is so freaking weird.
It looks like an orange.
Yeah.
And they have little plastics, and you have the thingies inside. What is this?
What is that?
Taco mix.
Let me.
I'm kidding.
Oh my.
It's so tiny. But see, it's like tiny little products.
This is what people have been buying. Wait.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is
Look,
this actually
and
full?
Look, and you can, and like here's the little thing.
I already have an obsession collecting Funko Pops. I don't think I'm gonna
want
get
to
into
collect these, but they've been sold out everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
They're so tiny, and people make
Who the fuck likes tacos? Look at that.
Wait, okay, I can't open this.
Glow in the dark. What am I looking?
These are weird.
Oh, it's a collectathon.
It's weird as hell.
And they have the stuff that are like, oh, look at this one. It's just vanilla. Look at it.
Oh my god.
It's just vanilla.
Give me over here. Let's see.
It's adorable. They're tiny, and people make them into earrings and keychains and stuff, or they just collect them.
Well, you just collected numbers.
What is this? Onion. Is this onion
So
powder?
weird.
I don't see. I mean, you can open them?
Can you? What the fuck do they have
I don't
inside?
No, I don't think you.
No.
No, I don't think you can.
No, but it has like it's perfectly like a perfect replica, and it has even the little tab.
No,
to
yeah,
open
I
it.
see the printing of it.
It's
It's kind of
dope.
impressive.
Well,
It's really
congratulations.
nice.
You have number 59.
Lunchables! Tiny Lunchables! I don't know
Oh
if
my.
you can see them, but they're adorable. Is this the pizza one? Oh my god, it's the pizza one.
If it is the best one, I'm keeping that.
I
That's
can't find
adorable.
Lunchables on the list. I don't.
I
see it.
never added the pepperonis to my pizza. By the way,
Me
I-
neither.
I
hated it.
hate
What is
pepperonis.
this one?
Lunchables is not in the list.
Bagel bites.
That's-
It's bagel bites. Oh my god,
it's
I
number
love
10.
It.
I want you,
Yo.
John. I want you to put a price on that thing.
Wait a minute, that's a rare one.
This is a real.
That's a rare
It's a
one.
rare one.
Yo.
I'm keeping those motherfuckers.
It's a little bagel bites.
Jesus Christ,
This is adorable.
John. I want you to
No, wait.
guess. I
Wait a
want
minute,
you.
there's 2 bagel bites, but one says common and the other one says rare. What's the difference? Yeah, number 10 and then 19.
Look at these people. I wish these were real.
Maybe the packaging is different.
Let me see. That's the thing, John. I want you to guess. How much does this cost?
I made them this.
Me?
Yeah.
Like right now?
Yes.
There's
Put a number on that ball.
It's
Put a number.
ball with a bunch of
Yeah.
what
plastic.
a number? What? $3? 5?
$8.
You have got to be kidding.
It's
Yeah.
$8.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I
the
know
price.
they sell bigger ones, but that was the one that we had available. We had the first one, which were white balls, and then those
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I didn't mean to.
and the golden ones. Yeah, I can see why it's rare because they have to be like metallic painted, you know?
Yeah, they're
Really?
like they're metallic or gold. One of those. I think it was.
Ah, so that's common.
Just kind of like
The
kind
bagel one?
yeah.
The bagel
Okay.
one we got.
it's
is
kind of like
common.
you know with the Funko Pops. They usually have the normal ones, and
I
they have
can't
the
put it back
metallic
together,
ones.
but I love the packaging. It's super.
No,
different.
that's the thing. I found it like very amusing that people were running around from different stores to get their hands on one of these. And I said, you know what? I'm very interested. I
I've
wanted
never been able to open.
I wanted
one,
to
and
make
I've always
I wanted to make an unboxing here on this show of these weird things. Anyways, let's go back
adorable.
to the topic. We're here to talk about Studio Ghibli, not about miniature.
Ghibli.
Ghibli.
Stop correcting me. Anyways, we want to start first with the movie Earwig and the Witch that premiered last week on HBO Max. Now, John, you've seen the movie. What do you think about the movie?
I liked it. I
You-
want more.
You liked it?
I liked it.
I
How
hated
about-
the ending.
The
Huh?
ending?
How
Wait,
how
To
come?
me?
No, for me, I hated the ending.
You hated the ending?
Yes.
Well, how so?
I don't like spoilers,
Yeah, we can spoil it.
but I hate when like movies like they point you like, oh yeah, like a reunion or this or that, and they just leave it at like
Like a cliffhanger.
a cliffhanger. I hate cliffhangers. If it's a movie, I hate that shit. Like, because I know for a fact they're not gonna make a sequel. They're not gonna make a sequel. They don't do sequels that often or at all. So like
Ghibli never does.
exactly. So
Yeah.
like I am stuck knowing that they saw each other and they're like,
But then again, the director is new. Goro, right? What's his name?
Yeah.
The director is new. They have the CG new. We don't know if they're gonna start doing sequels now. And I just learned that Earwig and the Witch.
Earwig and the Witch, yeah.
Earwig and the Witch is a kid's book.
it's
Yeah.
a kid's book. Yeah. I mean, they base a lot of it like from like stories.
Now, ignore the totally out of place cut. So, going back to the conversation of Earwig and the Witch, my opinion, I enjoyed it from start to finish. And I thought that a lot of people enjoyed the movie as well.
No.
I entered to the internet. People are hating the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just a lot of biased people just because Studio Ghibli used to be 2D. We don't like the 3D. But
Yeah.
the problem with that is the conversation I entered with a friend of mine actually a couple weeks, months ago. It had to do a lot with the 2D. I mean, the production is less, but at the same time, doesn't mean that they're earning a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they weren't. And it's a fact. The same happened with Disney. The last 2D movie we had was Princess and the Frog. Everybody loves it. It's not a bad movie, but consider, numbers don't lie. What they earned in the box office wasn't nearly as enough compared to Tangled, which was the first CG princess movie.
Yeah.
Not counting Brave because that's Pixar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, and the thing is that, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not like the biggest Studio Ghibli fan. Like, not like many people in the arts area who has Studio Ghibli under this pedestal. Like, I recognize how great their stories are, how great the artwork is. I'm just not that in love. But I thought after watching back a couple of iconic moments or movies, I think Earwig and the Witch has a lot of things that feel like a Studio Ghibli film. I mean, the sceneries, the shots, the bombastic colors, and especially the expression in the characters' faces.
Yeah.
It truly feels like a Studio Ghibli film. So I don't understand why they hate this movie so much. I myself found it charming, fun, entertaining, and I agree with the ending. I kind of hated that it ended that way, but at least we saw the mother coming back.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that moment of her appearing at the end.
I can point out the couple of moments that kind of bother me. One, I have mixed feelings of the mother in the end, but that's not one. It's when they were explaining the backstory as to why they broke up, and then they started saying big words, witches,
and they never
broken
went back to
code.
those.
Yeah, they told you, but at the same time, they didn't really tell you anything.
And the reason I'm a little iffy, but not too iffy, is because it's not the first time Ghibli has done something that is happening in the background, but they don't really say it. Howl's Moving Castle is the main one that I can think of. You've seen the movie, right?
It's my favorite movie.
The
Yeah, they have a whole war going in the back, and they give you hints and pieces of what's going on at the moment.
and it was something they only mentioned the prince like very little times, and that the prince is missing or something, but it wasn't even important all the way until the very end where the scarecrow was the prince.
Turnip head.
I can I can think of immediately my favorite of the Studio Ghibli films is Porco Rosso. It's a fun movie. I enjoyed every second of it, especially the whole airplanes thing. But they do mention what happens to Porco Rosso, but they number one, they don't reveal what happens to him, and number two, we never go back more into the backstory of how he got cursed and everything. But regardless, I think what makes Studio Ghibli's films that memorable and that big in this art world is the fact that these are enjoyable stories, enjoyable characters, and enjoyable worlds, beautiful worlds. Because, come on, the artworks in the classic 2D films, they're beautiful to look at. And this one, Earwig and the Witch, for me, is not a section. I love the settings. I love the setting in the house.
My problem with the settings in this movie is that because Studio Ghibli has this thing that is like the cluttered rooms where they use where they do magic and stuff. If you look at Howl's room, that's no exception. You see all of his magic stuff, and you can tell that's Howl's room.
Detail by
detail. Yeah, but my problem is that I love those type of rooms when they use witchcraft and all that stuff, and you can tell what kind of witch that person is. My problem is that you can't really tell. It's so dark, and I don't like it because there's detail back there. You can kind of tell, but it's so dark that it kind of just, it doesn't make you want to look at the background.
Yeah, I didn't understand what type of witch she was. Herbal, maybe?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not that pretty because it's all focused in a room, in her room. And the house is super interesting. And I would have loved to see more about the house because that house is
Which enters my second thing that bothered me. Compared to all the Studio Ghibli movies, whether the setting could be boring or not, plain or simple, they moved around. This movie, static.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not that interesting because like I'm using Howl as an example because that's my favorite movie. I've seen it so many times. It's like my comfort movie. Like I go to it all the time. And I love it because they show you so much of this world and they don't even have to show you. They just show you a scene and you already know where they are, what's happening, how it's the feeling. But it's so closed in this movie that you can't really tell what's going on outside, what's happening. You don't even know how you don't, like, at House Castle, it's a mystery itself because it's so big and it's so vast but you don't really see a lot, but you kind of get the gist of it. But that house, you don't really get anything. You get the bathroom, you get her room, the dude's room. You don't even see her room, the witch's room, and the witch's lair, let's say.
The only building I feel like we can all understand from top to bottom, and Howl is not one of them because there were a lot in that castle unexplored.
Yeah, and that's cool because it makes you open-minded and like, wow, there's like a lot you haven't seen.
Spirited Away.
I think it also depends too on the story because again, the Earwig and the Witch is focused on Earwig wanting to be a witch and her trying to adjust into her new life with her adoptive parents. So I think in this movie they focus more on Earwig herself rather than the world around her. I mean, it can have your issues with that, but I think when it comes to with Earwig herself and how she maneuvered throughout her new life with these two beings, I think that was the fun of the heart of this movie.
I kind of didn't like how she got her things, like how she got things to go her way, because she acted.
That's the way children act nowadays.
But like as a like I don't like that type of character.
Earwig she's a brat.
She's a brat.
She's a full-fledged brat. But again, speaking as an uncle, kids are like that.
Kids are like that, yeah.
I identify myself like a nicer version of the Mandrake. I like the Mandrake.
I love him.
He
deserves the world.
But I see myself as the nicer version because I don't get tall, I don't get mean, but my nephews and my nieces, they get whatever they ask from me. Oh, do you want this toy? I'll give you this toy. Like
and then you see her like kissing up to him, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious because like kids do that, but like
my nephew was like that when he came to visit. He didn't want to be around the others. He wanted to be with me. He wanted to see my toys. He wanted to get my Funko Pops. So that's a no zone for him. But he played around with my plushies and everything. So of course you can see he's sucking up to me because he wants to be here. So I saw myself in the Mandrake in that way because eventually I know it's bad to like give them everything they want. But just to see their happy smiles, you just go with it. And the Mandrake, even though he doesn't show it, he just does it to see Earwig happy, and that's what I enjoy the most.
Dear Wig.
Yeah.
But I think that's the problem people have with it, like the scenery, and that it didn't really feel like, for someone who have seen the movies and like that studio's movies and everything like multiple times, there's a certain pattern in every movie that you kind of get, that like first glance it's a Ghibli movie, and I don't think this gave it out. It's not the 3D.
Maybe because of the scope of the movie itself. Because again, this is a story that is contained in a small place, in a small world. It's not like Howl's Moving Castle or the other ones.
Wait, I figured it out. It feels more like a short story rather than a movie.
Yeah,
and it is short.
I watched.
Short. I'm not gonna say I'm a connoisseur.
Weird. It is so weird how Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle,
Kiki's Delivery Service,
all of them have the same length of hour.
Porco Rosso.
All same length of hour in the movie. Like 120, 140.
Nearly 2 hours.
They feel eternal when you're watching them.
That's kind of my
wig. It's like it gets.
And I was watching it this morning.
I didn't know it was.
And that's kind of my thing. Which is why I don't get too deep into Studio Ghibli. Again, I'm more of a normie fan than anything. Their runtime they are kind of
They're long.
they're long as hell.
But
Again, nothing against the story or the studio, but they're long and it's kind of
if
when
you're not really invested on the start of the
and
movie, then you're not gonna-
they take their time to start up the movie and
story build,
yeah.
character build. They teach you who these
The
people
one that
are and
the one
everything.
that I watched recently, Porco Rosso, it takes a bit to start the thing, but eventually it gets to a great story. I like that this guy is just not an ordinary person. He's got curse, but he's a hell of a pilot. I love that he's a hell of a pilot.
Yeah, and I think
And again, the scope, uh, a house, moving castle, Kiki's delivery service. These are globe-trotting adventures. There's a bigger world around them. These characters, not with Earwig, but again, I think that's for me as a normie fan. It's an enjoyable movie. Also,
it's enjoyable. It's fun. It's like fun for like kids.
I mean, it's not bad movie.
It's not.
It's
It's
just
not.
it doesn't
It's not.
really.
It's not as
feel-
terrible as everybody's making it
If
look like.
I were to say
No.
to the Ghibli feel movie that I can think of, I would think Nino Kuni.
Ni no
And
Kuni,
I
no?
hated that movie.
Mhm.
I didn't like it.
It's just it doesn't have the feel, and I think that's what people like. Like I've seen a lot of people who are like new, and you give it a good review because you're new to the whole Ghibli thing. But people who grew up with it, they were expecting the feel, the nostalgia, the kind of the feeling. Like a lot of people, the thing is not about being 3D. Like a lot of people are okay with it. They're like, wow, this is like progressing. Like it's easier for them to do it. It takes a bit less time. It's not more draining. It takes time, but it's not that much. But it's just not the feel. Like, that you look at it. Like, I can look at the cover or look at a scene, and I'm not going to be, like...
Feel special.
Like, it's not going to be, like, quickly, that's a Ghibli film. Like, it's not going to feel like that.
Unless you see it, of course, because again, the expressions on the faces of the characters.
Yeah, once you
they're
see the
definitely-
expression. I love, that's the only thing I give her. Her face. Oh, and the cat Thomas.
Yeah, I love the
him.
cat.
He's adorable. I love them.
I love the movie. I give it a B plus. I give it a B plus because I really had a good time.
I
with
give
this
it a
movie.
B, like a solid B or like
From 1 to 5,
C
I
plus.
will give it 3.5.
3.5. Decent enough.
same.
Decent enough.
Same.
That's about right.
Yeah.
So continuing with the Studio Ghibli
Oh,
show.
so
Yes.
the author died. The novel was published 2011. It was
It's recent.
It was British.
It's rich. Oh, that's why they have the accent. Eh?
That's why they have an accent.
Yeah.
That's Vesalale.
And apparently the book had unanswered questions.
So yeah, that's
So
kind
we're not getting it from anywhere.
Anyway, no, and I don't think the people behind the movie are risky enough to do it. So
Something, no.
well,
This
it
is
was
what
good
we
while
get.
it lasted. So continuing with Studio Ghibli, John, what is your favorite Studio Ghibli film?
I think I said it right. No,
Spirited Away?
Is it no, Spirited Away. So
Why are you confirming your favorite movie?
because for some reason I confuse Spirited Away with no, that's Totoro.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the Totoro too. Yeah.
No, but Spirited Away.
And what do you like
Spirited
so
Away.
much about that movie?
Every aspect of it. Like first, it throws you into a loop. You think everything is going one road. You think everything is going one way. You have the plot there. You have your goal. Now let's get to the goal. Okay. Normally, a lot of 2D movies or 3D movies nowadays is just, you see the goal, you get to it, that's it. Spirited Away takes you on a fucking ride, dude. Like a fucking trippy ride. So many things happen in that movie. The spiders, right? And the bottom of the castle. The sauna.
Yeah.
Parents turning into pigs. The ghost following the protagonist. Eventually, he becomes a big eating thing. It was a lot. It was a lot to take in, and it was amazing. That reminded me of Tekken Kingrit.
How about you, Yamaris? What is your favorite?
I've said it and I've compared It's
Howl's
just
Moving Castle.
yes.
What do you like the most about that movie?
It's just that like you get this so like not generic. She's not generic, but this main character who she's not really that. Wow, she's just there. She's just living her normal life, and she stumbles over this mysterious man,
Macho.
a macho man. He just sweeps her out of her feet, and I'm a hopeless romantic, and like him
Aren't
just
we all?
yeah, and him just coming over and I and and I can kind of like people like normal girls, guys, they can just like kind of just put themselves in Sophie's shoes and like I'm normal, I'm genetic, so things like these can happen to me and like it's normal, like it's anybody can come and swoop in and you can kind of see like later on in the movie this mysterious guy is just a dude trying to
What's your
make
favorite
it
part
honestly.
of the movie? I'm testing you. What's your favorite, at least, part of that movie? Like the one moment.
My favorite part is when Sophie sees Hal like in the past and she yells at him like come and meet me in the future. So that means that this whole time Hal has been looking for Sophie.
Aww.
Like if you look like if you put it like in like it connected the dots, like this man has been looking for Sophie since he was so young. And he finally found her. And then like when at the end when they like get to get together again and Sophie has like the gray hair and short hair, like she has gray short hair. He's like, oh my god, you look like it looks like star something, he says, like stardust or something like that. And I'm like, oh my god. And it's just amazing. It's just so pretty.
I imagine everybody thinking of the really romantic part, the epic part, the cool part, and I'm here thinking of the old lady race up the stairs.
Both of them out of breath, and one of them just becomes a blob, and I'm like, lady, you good?
Well, my favorite, of course, is Parker Russell because I love the dogfight aspect of the planes. I just find it so thrilling. And the character himself, he's a little bit of a sexist at first, but then the girl proves him wrong. Then the whole crew that goes to fix this airplane is all women, and I love that this movie predates every movement of people empowering women in film nowadays. And this movie, it has a female mechanic, a female crew to fix the airplane, and then I love the fist fight between Parco and the American guy, and they keep fighting each other, and then he finds out that the girl, the owner of the bar, she's in love with Porco, even though he looks like a fucking pig. So I really
I didn't know that by the name.
You've seen Hal, right?
No.
Like him. I'm
I-
looking for a photo
I've
now.
I've seen
He's-
Porco and I've seen Kiki's delivery service.
He's a handsome.
Oh
young-
no, I've seen how
like how
yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Like
hot.
I like the whole thing.
Yeah.
But like his whole thing is that he doesn't think he's beautiful enough.
Seriously?
Yeah,
That's the
like
problem,
there's literally a scene.
No, that's about an anime guy thing. Oh no, I'm not good looking.
No, but
enough.
he
Oh
literally.
no, you are.
He literally bathes in a potion, so he maintains his beautiful self that is blonde hair and whatever. And he literally Sophie kind of fucks up his potion, and like he turns his hair just turns ginger and then like black, and you see him have a whole meltdown on why he's ugly.
He's so different from
And
Porco.
then we have Sophie, who Sophie literally she accepted that she's not beautiful. She is beautiful. I hate that whenever she's like, oh yeah, I'm not pretty. But like she is beautiful, and
Howell
she's like
is so different from Porco. Porco just goes like, yeah, I'm a pig. I'm just a pig.
Was the message. I forgot her name. The protag's name.
Sophie.
You've been saying it all this.
yeah, Sophie.
Yeah, that was pretty much the premise. That she always thought she was ugly, hence why the entire metaphor of her, being
Turning
old.
into an old
Yeah.
woman, yeah.
And then in the end, she turns back into being Sophie, but with the white hair.
Mm.
Meaning she accepted that side.
Yeah, and it's so pretty because then you have Hal, and she really did that. And he sees her like as the most beautiful girl, and it's
These are all beautiful films. Now, with Earwig and the Witch being so different from all of these past films, what do you think the future lies for Studio Ghibli coming in after Earwig? Do you see them sticking into to the films, or do we see them adapting new stories in this new 3D technique
I
for them?
feel they'll adapt, but I can't say where
I
it's
mean, more
going. It's
a lot
uncertain.
of a lot of classic anime characters are turning into 3D. I mean, Lupin the Third is one of them.
Lupin.
Lupin, fuck it.
But like the thing is that I they make it work. Like this movie is not bad. It's not badly animated. It's
We just
really
need
good.
we just need a movie that is just as big
As
as like
big as
those
their other
movies.
works. Yeah. Like if they do more like world building and more
Yeah.
character, like like you can see actual character development and like see like a whole world and how they are like part of that world. Because you kind of just see her in the orphanage and then in the house and that's it. Like she's not really part of the world. Like if they do another one and it's like more open, more vast.
Outstanding.
Yeah, like more something that actually catches someone's eye that they're like wow and it stays in their memory forever.
Mhm.
Then I think they can make it work.
Do you think? And I asked this question to you, John. Do you think Studio Ghibli, their story structure and everything, do you think it can hang around studios like Disney or Warner Brothers? Because their movies are spectacular when it comes to animation. Pixar, recently with Soul. Do you think Studio Ghibli?
Ghibli.
Do you think they can have a chance at a renaissance and going back into the mainstream spotlight along the sides of Disney, Pixar, and all of them?
Uncertain. I want to say yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
see
mean,
it
because
happening, but
that's the thing with the old movies. I mean, we see with the other studios like Disney and everything. We see these movies. They are a good length. Then we see a studio like Ghibli, and they do take their time with their story. I got nothing against the story itself, but again, some people they are very selective with the things that they watch, and when they see a length like nearly 2 hours for an animated film, they might be a little bit intimidated, which is stupid because again, even though it might be 2 hours, the story can just go by flying. It happens with a lot of movies. I think, in my honest opinion, it can hang around, but you really need to go back and see the old Studio Ghibli films. Explore what made them so special in the first place. I mean, again, the iconic sceneries, the scope of the stories, and when they figure out how to do that, but
But isn't
with
that
a
hypocritical? A lot of people are attacking Ghibli because, oh, you have lost your ways. Why do you do this? But
It's
if
stupid.
people, yeah, because they keep looking back. Why don't they do the same with Disney?
I don't know.
Don't get me wrong.
I
The movies
don't
of
know.
Disney's from nowadays ain't bad, but they're not good. They're not outstanding.
Disney, no, Pixar is astounding. I think Pixar
For
is on
me,
another
the new
level.
movies of Disney are easily forgettable. And we were talking about that also last month, me and the group, because Disney villains aren't allowed to be Disney villains anymore. There's always has to be like a sad agenda, not a really agenda, like a sad meaning behind it that makes them slightly redeemable.
Yeah.
That makes you like
Yeah,
them
I
at the
kind of
end.
miss having unredeemable villains in Disney.
I miss like being
The
able
last-
to hate a character in
The
Disney
last
movies.
real villain we ever had, I don't know if I told you in this conversation, but the
When it comes
last real Disney villain that we've ever had was officially, well, technically, actually, I forgot about the mother from Tangled.
Yeah, no, I know her.
Gothel?
Tangled, Mother
Yeah.
Gothel, Mother
And
Gothel.
before
Yeah.
her, it was the dude from
Lucifer, Dr. Lucifer,
Yeah,
The Shadow
from
Man.
the Shadow Man.
friend from the
I
other
know that
side.
movie, that whole movie. I know it by heart, like every line. I love it. But then you put, honestly, I've lost in touch. Like I don't like the new Pixar's or Disney movies.
I enjoy the Pixar movies, but again, I miss
thought you were
having the
gonna
typical
smack
villain.
me.
No.
I was like,
was-
oh,
I mean, Soul is wonderful.
Finally, I have. Okay, look, I'm not gonna talk smack about Soul because I haven't seen it, but I know
Me
for a
neither.
fact that the movie.
It's more of a life lesson.
Yeah, it's more of a
It's
life
not
lesson.
for kids. I'm sorry, but Soul is not for kids.
It is for kids. They have to
are not
learn.
gonna get it.
Kids need to learn that they are
Oh my
bound to
God,
die one day.
Yeah. What I
Kids are
used
not
to
gonna get
like
it.
about Disney or mainly Pixar is that they're mainly Pixar. They tell a story. They show a story. You know, Monster Inc., Toy Story. They play with random shit and just tell a story. That's about it.
Yeah.
No hidden message behind it. No about power of family and friends and all that. It was there,
Some
but it
Kingdom
wasn't
Hearts shit,
spoken as much. Except, yeah. Like even Toy Story, Buzz and Woody are very good friends, but it wasn't about, it was because we're friends that we got through this. They never say any shit like that.
You can kind of tell, like a kid can tell, like you have to be good for your friends.
Uh-huh.
You have to be like that's the main thing. But if you put,
Again,
and I'm telling by experience, my brothers, like I have a brother, and he did not sit through Soul. That movie is not for kids. And if you take it, Studio Ghibli's movies are mostly not for kids.
Yeah.
Because they're not gonna sit through a whole story of talking, and they don't get what's going on, and they're gonna get bored. You have to put Western movies.
But I
and
think
stuff.
I think Disney movies. The thing is, they are appealing enough for a bigger audience. Yeah, there's gonna be kids that are not gonna sit through a Pixar movie that is all about how you are gonna die. You need to get your shit together. They're not gonna sit through that. But there's enough people for them to account for the success of said films. I really believe Studio Ghibli can have that same success. Just the people really need to start accepting the fact that we may not have another House Moving Castle or another.
Never.
No, because those are one hit.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. We have to start being accepting for the fact that we're gonna have new stories being told in different ways. Sadly, 2D is no longer like a viable way to make animation in the industry.
I mean, I'm all for it, but even I acknowledge it.
Yeah, I love 2D animation. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't sell.
I think
it
because
doesn't sell.
people are just scared that
We'll see. We'll see with Space Jam, but even that's a hybrid because it has 2D animation, but it's with live action and a lot of other shit.
Yeah.
But again,
But people, like, I think just people are scared that because like Studio Ghibli is from Japan, that is like super different storytelling techniques that in Western media, and in Western media it's just more to the point and more trying to appeal to a vast audience. When in Studio Ghibli they take their time, they analyze a lot of things.
I think
and
one
they
of the
put hidden messages here and there, so it doesn't really appeal for anybody. And I think that's what people are scared and hating on this movie.
I think one of the other things that really affected Earwig to have a little more attention outside of the typical fan of this kind of films, we're living in a pandemic. Earwig didn't have enough promotion.
No.
The word didn't get out for this movie. I think a lot of more people would have loved this movie if they have known that this movie existed in the first place. Now, in normal circumstances, I think this movie would have been a lot more successful. Again, this movie could have been a good way to bring Studio Ghibli back into the spotlight. Again, I can see a future with Studio Ghibli doing more 3D films.
If anything, this is just a showcase.
Yeah,
This is like a preview of
a
what
preview
they can do.
of what's to come. Hopefully, they don't take as long as they usually take with each movie, because again, we see like they take 1, 2, 3 years through each movie. Hopefully, they don't take us long.
But admittedly, I enjoyed the movie, but even I have to admit, factually speaking, for a showcase, when you think of showcase, we gotta go back. Pixar's first showcase of CG, Toy Story. DreamWorks' first CG, Shrek. And now Ghibli's first CG, Earwig. She is nowhere near Toy Story nor Shrek.
No, I know that, but again, the thing is that the art of Studio Ghibli is so unique. It's hard to translate that kind of art style to a 3D world.
Yeah.
You just have to see if it works in the first place. I think Earwig does that correctly. It works. You just have to like polish it a lot better.
I kind of just missed the hair floof thing.
Yeah.
The typical thing that they can literally just go like this and their hair just goes like. I love that. That's so pretty.
Again, I think the thing about Erwig, yeah, it's a small story. Yeah, it's a small world, but I think it proves that a Studio Ghibli movie in a 3D world works.
It can
You'll
work.
never
Yeah.
get it right.
I don't give a damn if I never get it right. At least I like their movies, okay? But again, it works in the 3D world. I think with a little bit more polishment, like they did in Toy Story 4, because again, you see the first Toy Story compared to the latest Toy Story film, they look completely different when it comes to how realistic it looks. With that, with a transformation like that, like slowly improving upon that existing 3D animation, I think they can go around with this animated studios. You know,
Imagine how looking more
we just have to
realistic.
see.
I am so sorry.
I will have to see whatever they come up next with, what big story they're gonna adapt or create by themselves. Because this, again, Earwigs is an adaptation. Most of the other older films are original stories by the creators inside the studio.
Howl is a book.
And Pork
The Howl one is a book.
is a book.
Yeah, it's a book. And he's not that suave. In the book, he's not that suave. He's not that pretty boy. Oh God.
But again,
He's
they
a
gave
mess
it.
of a person.
They gave it enough of a different approach that people recognize more this story than the book itself. So again, either they do that or they do an original story. We shall see. I cannot wait to see what comes next for Studio
Actually,
Ghibli.
with my wording, I think I figured out why people like the second movie of Frozen rather than the first one.
Why?
I haven't seen the second movie of Frozen, but from what I've gathered, the second movie of Frozen, there's no hidden message or any agenda behind it. It's a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super good. Like I honestly, I don't remember a lot of the first movie. Like the songs, I just know it. But the second one,
The only
it's really good. It's actually really
the
good.
only bone I have to pick with Frozen 2 is that Into the Unknown should have not been nominated for best song. It should have been Show Yourself, the one that she sings.
thank you.
That is the superior song. I'm sorry. That
Thank
is
you.
the
No,
superior.
thank you.
And
You're right.
I love Into the Unknown. I sing it sometimes.
I will not take criticism.
Show
That
Yourself
song
is the better
best.
song. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Anyways, we're done for today. Where can the guys find you, John?
I forgot. Wait. Wait.
Where can the guys find you, John?
My Instagram. Sheva Yeah, there we go. Sheva
Sheva
Cera. Sheva.Cera.
Where-
And I also got a Facebook.
Maybe. Yeah,
Maybe.
you do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Where can the guys find you, Yamaris?
In my Instagram, yams_tags_. I just do art. I sometimes I draw.
And it's wonderful art. I love it.
I just do fan art in the here and there commissions and stuff.
At
So
least you do something. I need to draw. I haven't drawn.
And you guys can find me
you can
at
find some whole shit there if you're a fan.
you guys can find me at the Bryan Chevrolet on Twitter or in any of Beyond Stuff social media at Beyond Stuff PR. Well, I'll be seeing you guys next time.